Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another live stream. It's your boy John. Hope you guys are all having a fantastic start to your weekend. It's Friday evening here in New York, just shy of 8 o'clock. And yeah, I decided, you know what? Let's go live. It's been a while. It's been a minute. And my backdrop is somewhat ready. It's pretty much there. I just want to add a little bit more of like flavor to the corners and stuff. Like I want to bring that photo down just a bit, yeah. And then I want to add a little bit more stuff here. Obviously, you guys can't see the sign up here, so there's a little bit of things I still want to kind of shift around and move around. But for the most part, it's pretty much there. It's pretty much there. I originally wanted to get a strip light, so it's like a light beam basically, and I kind of wanted to hide this lamp away from the frame and just have the red light spilling into the shot. But for me to do that was going to cost too much money. So I figured, you know what, let's not spend extra money. Right now, we're in conservation mode. Right now, what we're trying to do is focus on the content and not worry so much about the aesthetics. Although I am a big guy when it comes to aesthetics, you can't always get what you want, you know? And you got to be okay with that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, obviously the last stream that we had, it was a little bit more of a heart-to-heart kind of conversation, and it was a really good one, to be honest with you. I enjoyed last week's stream, or was it when was it? It was like, what, a few days ago? I can't even remember, but it was really nice. It was, I feel like it was one of those where like I kind of want to do more of them if I have the time, but we're going to find more of those things, more time to do those things. So don't you worry about that at all. And you guys get in the comments and let me know what you guys think with respect to the setup here. Is it too dark? Is it too light? I kind of want to switch it up when it comes to streams, so like it kind of fits the time. Right now for me, it's like I said, it's almost 8 o'clock, so it's a little bit darker. Thank you so much for subscribing. Appreciate you guys. Let me see what the chat's saying. We got numero uno moderator Vish in the chat. What's going on? Vish is vibing late night. Woo! Absolutely. 30 Red in the chat says ready for the draw, and he is talking about the draw with respect to United drawing against Liverpool. We're gonna talk about that. And more. So get yourselves ready, strapped in. If you guys are here for the Manchester United stuff, that's what we're doing. Steven 254 Big says New Yorker. Absolutely. We got New York in the house. Where we checking in from, chat? Where y'all checking in from? Katie Marie joining us. What's going on? The Jim joining us. Michael Shannon joining us. DB Cooper joining us. Everybody joining us. We're locked in today. Hendo, huh? Hen Dogs? What's going on? Fernando Arana joining us as well. We got Giannis checking in from TikTok. He says, so when do you think United will win the Champions League again? Well, let's be real. United have to be in the Champions League to win it. So, yeah, that we can't even have that conversation. You know what I mean? If it says New York is 5 hours time difference, or did your times go forward? It's 5 hour time difference for now. I think there are certain, because I think our daylight savings doesn't happen on the same week. So I think there's like a few week gap where it's only like 4 hours, but generally for the most part it is 5. Yeah. So I'm sure if you guys are checking in from the UK right now, it's probably what, almost 1 o'clock in the morning. No, damn, Vish, you better be going to bed, my man. Iceberg says, I don't feel confident in the United team, but I think we might get a point. Okay, well, I know a lot of people seem to be quite surprised about the state of Liverpool and the situation that they find themselves in, but hey, if y'all been following me for a while, I did call it. I'm just saying. All right. Yoni Boy checking in from IG says, Vamos, John. Absolutely. What's going on, Yoni Boy? Thank you for joining us. I saw the Bayern buddies. What's going on, my man? The two Bayern Munich fans that I met here in New York not too long ago. He says Kim Min-jae is the best center back. Facts. Bayern buddies only speaking facts here. Nate says, I'm checking in from Massachusetts. Shouts out to Massachusetts. We got two, what do you call Massachusettsians? Massachusettsites? How do you call yourselves? Like we call ourselves New Yorkers. What's the word? Massachusettsians? Blah, blah. You're gonna have to tell me. But let's talk a little bit about the game. Obviously, Manchester United taking on Liverpool. It's gonna be a big one. And I think this is a perfect opportunity for, in my perspective, for Manchester United to capitalize on Liverpool's situation. And the thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about was the wait, no way. Katie Marie and Udon Poppy says they're called mass holes. Are you serious? There's no way. You guys, you must be joking. There's no way you call people from Massachusetts mass holes. Ralph checking in from Tokyo. Shouts out to Tokyo. What? Well, Dioblar says he's a New Jerseyan. Shouts out to New Jersey. But what the hell? There's no way it's a mass hole. No way. Hater Raza says, Hyder Raza? He says, I saw you at the Premier League Summer Series. Man United versus West Ham. Shouts out to you, Hyder. Thank you for, couldn't meet you because of the crowd. I'm sorry to hear that, my man. Damn, I'm sorry to hear that. The one thing that I really liked about the summer tour this time around was that I got to spend so much time with you guys, the fans, and our community. The past 4 years, I've definitely been doing more of those. Sort of like interacting with you guys and just spending time with the community. But this time around was full blown kind of just vibing with the fam. That was so much fun. But yeah. DB Cooper, the New Englanders. Yeah, but New England is like a whole section of that Northeast region, right? Katie Marie says Massachusettsans or Bay Staters is the proper one, but massholes is the vibes. A masshole sounds a little, it's got a little too much vim in it. I don't know about calling somebody a masshole. That's kind of wild. I don't even know exactly if that's true or if it's even a factual statement, but it sounds wild to me. I ain't gonna call nobody no damn masshole. Excuse me. Anyways, let's get back on track here. Let's talk a little bit about the Manchester United versus Liverpool game. Look, don't get me wrong. I'm not sitting here on this like Delulu thing saying that Manchester United are going to smash up Liverpool at Anfield. You know, I think in the last 14 meetings between United and Liverpool, I think United only won once. So it is one of those things where if we're looking at the statistics and if we're looking at data, yeah, obviously it's a long shot, right? Let's not kid ourselves, you know? But I do think this is a good opportunity for Manchester United to take a chance. You know what I mean? To take a chance. Liverpool are on a 3-loss streak. Let me pull this up for you guys. I'm going to switch it up for y'all. Let's see. Boom. I don't know if you guys can see that. I'm going to maybe pull in a little bit. Liverpool's top goal scorer is Ekatike with 3. I thought they scored more. Damn. That's Bruno's XG? Damn. Anyways, look at that. Look at that record, man. I mean, we can't really talk about record as a United fan, but let's be real. 3 losses in a row. That's obviously a bad sign for a side like Liverpool, right? Crystal Palace, losing to Crystal Palace. By the way, Crystal Palace have been phenomenal. So I think that was a well-deserved win from the perspective of Palace. This game, why am I... Excuse me. Why am I keeping like my throat's getting a little... this game against Galatasaray, I didn't get to watch, but how was that? If anybody watched it, was Liverpool that poor? Or was it just like an unjustifiable 1-0? I did watch this one, though. Chelsea versus Liverpool. I don't know how the hell this happened. This is hilarious. But like I said, if we're just looking at this from the perspective of Manchester United, who's obviously been facing a lot of a tumultuous up and down kind of season, one of the main reasons why I think Ruben Amorim and the players will be raring to go and trying to get a result is that this is the chance to reinstate a huge chunk of the sort of pride and the fear factor that Manchester United have lost. I'm not even talking about over the years. I'm talking about just in the past 2 years or so. Liverpool are obviously shell-shocked, but in the same way, they are still Liverpool. It is going to be an extremely difficult match, without a doubt, without an absolute doubt, you know? But if there's any time for United to be walking in to Anfield, there couldn't be any better than now. This is it. This is the chance. Ruben Amorim pull up, yeah, and get something. You know what I mean? But the thing that actually makes this actually kind of what's the word I'm looking for? The thing that makes this just as ridiculous in many ways is that this also could be the opportunity for Liverpool to bounce back, because from their perspective, they're going to go, hey, look, it's not been good, but this is our chance to bounce back and our chance to regain a little bit of composure. And what better time than now to pump Man United? You know, Liverpool, from their perspective, they're definitely going to be thinking that way. You know what I mean? But from my perspective, I just feel like Manchester United at this moment in time to get it's like a wounded tiger, you know, or wounded lion or whatever it is, king of the jungle. You know, they're down right now. This is the chance to capitalize. You know, and this is the opportunity for Man United to you know, cover a lot of lost ground in so many ways. You know what I mean? Let me see some comments here. D-Fly MUFC says, big up, John. Love your channel. Thank you for the kind words, broski. Let's see. Fernando Rana says, if United win, I will buzz my head. Fernando, we got Evie. There's evidence here now. The Immaculate Collective heard it. So we better see it. You better drop the pride. You better drop it. Yeah. And I'm going to hold you to that. Okay? I'm going to hold you to that. Let's see. Uzer the Bruce Wayne says, we can't really predict since it's Man United versus Liverpool at Anfield. Can we win against Liverpool? Why not? I'm absolutely in the belief that we can get this. We can absolutely get this. Do you know what I mean? Why not? Why the hell not? These players will be walking into this with absolutely nothing to lose. You know what I mean? Joshua Aceba says, big up, John, watching from Florida. All right? Florida? Is that how y'all say Florida down there? Florida? Shouts out to Florida. David Cooper says, it's actually the best and worst time to play them. Facts. We got to be grown men. The past is history. Exactly. Fat Thor in the chat says, I always hope we'll win, but I'll take a draw too. Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not sitting here on a like I said before, I'm not sitting here on a Delulu thing saying that, you know, United, you know, I'll be upset if we lost. No, if we're just looking at our record and how we've been playing, then I'll be grateful with the draw. Of course, you know, of course. RKC says, Man United sucks. Get him out. Somebody get his ass out. RKC0827. Man United sucks. Out. Now. But yeah, like I said, if you give me a draw, like, I'll take it. You know, if you gave me a draw right now, I'll take it for sure. I'm not in this position where I'm gonna be, you know, gambling. You know what I mean? Official Paul Berry says United for life. That's what I'm talking about. United. RKC, sending love right back to you, broski. Ray in the chat says, I've thought about it all week, and I think the key to United beating Liverpool is scoring more goals than them. Hashtag expert analysis. Oh, Ray, my man with the knowledge. What are we saying here? What are we doing? About Red says anything but a loss. Shouts out to Oh, sure. Checking in from Singapore. Shouts out to you for checking in from Singapore, broski. Appreciate you. What time is it there right now? What time is it? RKC's a Chelsea fan. Yo, Chelsea. Ups and downs. Ups and downs. Just like us. I mean, not as bad as us, but yeah, at least. Still ups and downs. Jimmy V says, how good has Sheshko been? Offers so much more in general play and build-up than Rasmus did. Okay, well, hold on. Everybody get in. Everybody sit down. Everybody sit down. Get your drink. Everybody sit down and relax. We got to talk about this, okay? Because we've been talking a lot about Rasmus Højlund, all right? We've been talking about a lot about Rasmus Højlund. But unlike somebody, for example, I'm just going to keep it 100. Unlike somebody like Marcus Rashford, who I have so much time for, Rasmus actually wanted to be here, and he wanted to fight. I have so much more time for players that actually want to be here than players that don't want to be here. That's just a given, right? For me, I don't care how good you are. If you don't want to be here, that is the worst for me. And that's why I had more time for somebody like Rasmus, because I can clearly tell that, yes, he must have probably been going through an absolute living, frustrating version of hell. But also, he was giving it 1,000%. And those are the kind of players I would rather United invest their time in. Especially for somebody like Rasmus, who wasn't on insanely crazy wages. You know? Like RKC's talking about before. Like, they have Sancho. Not Chelsea. What am I saying? But anyways, they had Sancho. But the point is like, players like Jadon Sancho. Another player that, you guys know how hard I was riding for him. He don't want to be here. Then don't be here. Somebody like Rasmus was here and he wanted to be here. I got time for him in that respect, right? Yes, Jimmy, you're absolutely right. He wasn't suited to the Premier League or our style. You're absolutely right. I'm not gonna, take anything against. I'm not gonna take anything away from what you're saying there. But I do believe that our players and the way that we played, that was more of the bigger issue rather than Rasmus and a lack in quality. And I just want people to remember that, because I don't want Rasmus constantly getting dragged saying he's absolutely trash and this and that. Like, I think that's a cop-out, especially for content creators who do watch football and who do cover United or, have a little bit more of that finesse element to their chat. Just sitting there and saying Rasmus was shit and like he's blah, blah, blah. Look, all the power to you. That's your opinion, but I think it's a bit of a cop-out. I think it was a lot more complex than that. And it's just my 2 cents. Let's see. Praveen in the chat says, FIFA tonight, bro? Yo, I don't know if I got time to play FIFA tonight, but maybe. I don't know. We'll see. What time is it? 7:54? Maybe it might be a late night thing. I'm not even later than now. Let's see. Let me see some more comments here. Joshua Aseva says, I'm worried about the game, John. The 3-0 versus City was concerning as hell. How do we play better last year there than this year? Hoping it's growing pains, but I don't know. I honestly feel like all of this is just like a nightmarish growing pain. You guys remember when you were like babies and like when you were kids growing up, like, you know how like your legs hurt like crazy because your body's like you're getting taller? Remember that pain? I remember I used to lay down and I used to be in absolute pain. And my mumsy used to be like, that's just because your legs getting like you're getting taller and your legs getting longer and stuff. And I was like, I don't give a damn. It hurts like hell. Am I the only one that remembers that? Or am I the only one that like experienced that? But yeah, this is just all part of growing pains. I do agree. I do believe that United will come good. We will come good. I promise you. Oliver Clenham says we need the guys to give their all. We need this win to turn our season around. Exactly. I think this is the opportunity for us to be able to turn the season around. Seriously, in terms of building that consistency. Joshua says people forget Rasmus scored 16 goals in his first season. Exactly. There was talent there. Let's not take anything away from the fact that he did score goals. Adi Wallace says, who won? Manchester will win. Well, I can't tell you who won, but I'll tell you who will win. TV Cooper says, I'm like 5'9", dude. Maybe growing less hurts less. All right, who's the tallest in our community right now? Who's the tallest? Everybody drop your height. Everybody get in the chat. Drop your height. Ridwan Nul Karim says, why do you think that? Why do you think what? You're going to have to refresh my mind here. Ray says, the 3-0 to City felt worse because for a week, all the pundits were saying that City were on the downward spiral and Pep had lost it. So United fans got all excited rather than keeping an even keel. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I think that's probably the best way to sum it up. It's because we're like, oh, maybe we can get something here. Ridwan says, oh, you're asking why do I think United will win? I don't know. I just got a hunch. I'm good with these things, Vish says he's 6'7". Vish, you capping. There's no way you're 6'7". Are you seriously 6'7"? Ray, 5'9". Fat Thor says 6'2". Okay. Ernest Jennings, I can't really tell what that emoji is, but Fernando Rana, 6'1". Okay, cool. We got some tall folks in the chat. Street Syndicate, what's going on? 6'1". I like that. We got some tall people in the chat. Vish says I'm 5'5". Vish, you gotta. What the hell? 6'7". 6'7". DP Cooper says Vish is all over the map on his height. Udon Poppy says, John, I'm putting my next month's rent on a parlay. United to win. Who's scoring for us tomorrow? Yo, let's not do the betting thing right now. That's a little too scary. I'm not trying to get in. Let's not get that involved. By the way, guys, it doesn't matter how tall or short you are. It don't matter. Height is just it's a perspective. All right. Don't let yourself get down because you feel like own your height. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with being the height that you are. You know what I'm saying? I remember I met a kid who was like, Dr. Mixalon in the chat says that's what short people say. Okay. All right. I don't know why all of it. All right. I know why, because I was talking about height. Okay. But what I'm trying to tell y'all is that there's nothing wrong with however tall you are. Okay. Embrace your height. Jimmy V says, spoken like a tall man. Savvy in the chat, what's going on? 5'2", but a girl, so it's fine. That's cool. 5'2" is cool too. What I'm trying to say, ladies and gentlemen, is whether you're tall or short, it's about confidence, Thank you so much for the super chat. LFEC in the chat. He says, which is better, Peruvian or Mexican soccer league? LFEC, I actually have no knowledge on the Peruvian soccer league. You're going to have to educate me. That being said, I don't really know too much about Liga MX either. You're going to have to tell me. You're going to have to tell me on that one. Why? Do you think Peruvian's better or Mexican's better? Which one's, you're going to have to tell me which league is more, I guess, quote unquote, better from your perspective. Anuelian in the chat says, you're my favorite United creator, broski. I try my best to tune in every time. Yo, Anuelian, even those words are like, I'll take that. You don't even need to be here every time. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you for checking in. Street Syndicate says, yo, Vish, my bad. Spat my damn drink out at 5'5", bro. Yo, yeah, okay. See, hold on. Everybody stop. Because what we're not doing is talking about height like this. You know what I'm saying? All I was talking about was trying to see if y'all could relate with me when I was talking about, hey, Do you guys remember when we were kids and we were trying to, when we were growing and our bodies was getting bigger and stuff, your legs were hurt. You guys remember that? Or am I the only one that feels that? But anyways, Fernando Rana says Mexico. Okay. Looks like we got some Mexican fans in here. Anueli says Liga MX on top. All right, cool. LFEC says pan con chichar. What is that? I gotta be careful about the Spanish that I read because my Spanish is a little rusty and I don't know exactly what sometimes y'all say. But he says Peru is key. Okay. La Flex says you the only one. Damn. Shoot. RL says I think it was just you. Was my mom capping? Was my mom making like she was just like, just trying to make me feel better? Is that what was going on? Is that what's going on? And maybe, you know what? I'm gonna ask my friend. I'm gonna just call a friend. Let's see if they even if they even pick up. Okay. I'm just gonna call a random friend and see if they agree. Or if they can relate. Okay, hold on, you guys ready? I'm a little scared. I'm gonna call him though. All right. I don't think he's gonna pick up. Nah, he's not gonna pick up. These bums. All right, let me call another friend. Let's see, what can I call? Let's see. This is so stupid. I'm gonna call my brother. Hold on. Hold on. Let's see if he picks up. I don't think he's gonna pick up, but let's see. These bums, man. It's a Friday. These guys are all either having fun and like with their girlfriends and wives or something. And they're like freaking voicemail. These bums, man. Ignoring my calls. Joey's in the chat. What's going on, Joey? He just popped on to say, I love John and the good vibes. Hey, appreciate you, Joey, for checking in. Hope you're doing well, broski. Duke in New York in the chat as well. He says, were you watching the game on Sunday? I'm watching it here at home. I'm going to be doing a live stream. Unless you guys want me to... Unless maybe... I don't know. It's kind of hard for me to do live streams outside the house unless it's like a phone setup like this, and obviously you would much more prefer like a clearer audio with like a crispy camera and stuff like that. If I had a full live stream, if I had like a full IRL stream crew, then that might be a very different story. But, for now, it's at home. Ray says, what is the Korean height superstition when growing up? Filipinos had to jump right at New Year's midnight to get taller. Oh, wow, that's very interesting, Ray. I didn't know. Is that a Filipino tradition or a superstition, rather? Interesting. I don't think I'm just trying to think about it now. I don't really know if there's any Korean tradition or superstitions rather with respect to height. I can't remember. I don't know. Maybe if my fellow Koreans are in the chat, y'all can tell me. Is there anybody any of my Koreans in here? Do y'all remember any superstitions with respect to height? I can't remember. I can't recall any. G-Day Bash, thank you for subscribing. Appreciate you. Ray in the chat says, where would Park Ji-sung play in the Amram system? Oh, easy za. Thank you for the follow. Oh, Ray, that's a shout. That's a good question. Whoa, where would Park Ji-sung play in the current Amram system? I think he would probably be playing the wingback role. I think he would definitely be playing the wingback role. Because I can't really see him. I mean, he could play the 10 role, but he's more of a He'd be the wingback that tucks in centrally, you know, kind of what you saw Diogo Dalot do at times. But I think, with the greatest respect to Diogo Dalot, I think he'd be a much more suited wingback in that sense. Let's see. What's going on, Toyon, in the chat? Toyon says, is this your real voice or are you trying to make it deeper? No, this is my real voice. Am I trying to... This is my real voice. What the... what the hell's going on tonight? This is my real voice. Oh, maybe it's because I'm speaking quieter. Is that why? Yeah. It's because Toyon, it's because it's at night. You know, I don't want to be disturbing my neighbors. That's why I'm speaking a little bit more quieter. If that's what you're talking about, but apart from that, this is my normal voice where there's no effect or anything. G-Day Bash, thank you. He says, you're amazing. Appreciate you for the kind words there. Jan in the chat says, yo, just got here. Have you talked about the whole UAE ownership thing? Actually, I have not. Joe UAE says, GGMU from UAE. Oh, there you go. I guess this is an opportunity for us to talk about the UAE. I do know that while there aren't, look, I made a full video about it. So if you guys haven't had a chance to check it out, please go do so. To really put things very simply, if there was anything super seriously concrete that has approached Manchester United or sort of appeared itself onto the doors of United's front door, it must be reported to be in compliance with the SEC regulations. Because Manchester United are a publicly traded company on the New York Stock Exchange, there is a duty to disclose these things if these things happen, right? Again, I don't want to get too depth. I don't want to get too much in detail with respect to stocks and trading and finance and all that. And to be quite frank with you, I'm not an expert in that either. But if there was anything concrete that has already approached Manchester United, then we would have all heard it by now, right? But that doesn't necessarily mean that something isn't brewing, right? Because there actually could be something significant brewing in the UAE, and the latest reports seem to suggest that the thing that is brewing in the UAE right now is potentially a consortium that is looking into buying Manchester United, and apparently they have approached Manchester United legends to be their ambassadors. Now, from a UAE's perspective, right? I don't really know too much of the political landscape, but it is the UAE, right? And from their perspective, if they're going to buy the team, if they're going to buy the club, then of course having Manchester United legends to be the face of their sort of proposition is, of course, the right, quote unquote, political move to take. Of course, absolutely. And it looks like the reports actually seem like they have approached some of the legends, apparently, including Eric Cantona. I've said this before. When the Glazers were first announced that they're looking into selling the club, when we were talking about the Qataris, when we were talking about all these potential buyers and things like that, I've said this before. It might actually be right now sort of a tasty proposition, right? It might feel that way, but you also have to remember that nothing is guaranteed and nothing is set in stone. Just feels newer and shinier, so you want to go for it. But that's not how the world works. There's no guarantee that a new ownership will come in and make things better. Obviously, it's not that hard to make it better than the Glazers. Let's be real, right? But there is obviously that ambiguity. And right now, I've given from my personal perspective, in my heart, I've given this Ineos team their chance, or quote unquote, their crack at this for sure, right? So in that sense, I'm not all that too, bummed or not much reaction from my end, Control delete in the chat says United are finished. And what? Why don't you control delete alt that comment? Wait. Control. No. Why don't you alt F4 that comment? No. Why don't you just backspace? Yeah, there you go. Damn, I can't talk smack at all. Living off of Ferguson's success. What you talking about? Living off of Ferguson's success? Um, let me go back to the comments here. I was yapping on a little bit. Toyon says, "Okay, it sounded different from last time." Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that it's because it's late at night. Yeah. Jimmy V says, "Wild that we've got a system that Giggs, Bex, Gary Neville, and so many other legends wouldn't fit into. Not opposed. Parentheses, I'd rather have 3 midfielders, but that's not what I mean. But it is weird. Yeah, no, it's extremely weird. It's a very peculiar, odd moment that we find ourselves in. It's a very different kind of Man United. But things change. And I mean, at least from my perspective, I'm open to giving it a shot. I personally still think that it might not be a bad idea for us to, at least give it maybe change things up a little bit with respect to a different shape, maybe a different, you know what I mean? But yeah. Anyways, Garrett Ponder in the chat. What's going on, Garrett Ponder? He says, "What's up? I'm from San Diego. Shouts out to you for checking in from San Diego, broski." K Kim says Chisholm would be utilized like Ahmad, except more presence off the ball than dribbling. Yup. K Kim, spot on there. That's exactly what would be happening. Park Ji-sung was lauded, obviously, primarily for his industry and his work rate, but you also have to realize that Park Ji-sung was an incredibly intelligent footballer, and one of his main attributes was his off-ball movements, his awareness of the game, and his perception and his ability to read the positions of his teammates in the opposition. It was second to none in that sense. So yeah, for sure, I think he'd probably be more utilized, in those nice little 1-2s, occupying the right positions, dragging the right players away. Those are the things that probably Park Ji-sung would thrive in, rather than being like an Ahmad and just taking people on and stuff like that. Mace Windex says, "What's going on?" He says, "Will you eat ghost peppers if Liverpool win?" I will never eat something spicy like that ever, ever, ever again. We're not doing that. Mace Windex says, "You need better lighting." Wait, this doesn't look good? This is too dark for y'all. I thought this is... wait, I don't even think we had a chance to have the conversation. Was this too dark? Control Delete says United haven't gone through more managers than most teams in the Prem. What does that mean? The only chance United has this Sunday is Salah not playing. We'll see about that. I don't even think Salah is playing, isn't he? Anyway, let's see. Mace Windex says it's very gloomy. I think it's kind of more appropriate to the time right now, because it is 8:14 at this moment here in New York. So I'm just keeping it a little bit low key in that sense. But Omar B says, "Hi, Omar from Tunisia, checking in. Glory, glory, Man United." Yo, shouts out to Omar checking in from Tunisia. Appreciate you for checking in, my man. I actually don't know that much about Tunisia. Let's see. What's the capital of Tunisia? I've never learned. Let's see. Oh, it's a 10-hour flight, 11-hour flight from here. Wow, it's far from me. What's the capital of... Oh, it's Tunis. Oh, interesting. Cool. Tunis is the capital of Tunisia, a country in North Africa. It sits along Lake Tunis, just inland from the Mediterranean Sea's Gulf of Tunis. Centuries-old Medina and the Bardo, an archaeology museum where celebrated Roman mosaics are displayed in a 15th century palace complex. Oh, that's really cool. Damn. Whoa. Whoa, cool. Mace Winnick says the right side looks good. So this side. The other side is gloomy. Okay, so I'm going to put a light there. Yeah? I'm going to put a light right... Maybe I'm going to put a light right here. Right up here. Yeah? That might make things a little bit better. Cat just lives in the chat. What's going on? A cat here from South Africa. Shouts out to you checking in from South Africa. I'm worried about the starting 11 for Sunday. Maybe we can end on... Maybe we could do a little bit of the starting 11 chat here. Let me see if I can pull that up for y'all. No. 눈이 올까요? 그대 자는 동안에 눈이 올까요? 우리 감은 눈 위에. Where is it? There we go. There we are. 눈이 올까요? 아침 커튼을 열면 눈이 올까요? Omar says it's a beautiful country and I'm here from Madia, Tunisia. Shouts out to you checking in from Tunisia, Omar. Appreciate you. Okay, so let's do this. Let's do this. I'm gonna have to pull everything out like this, like this, like this, like this, like this, like this. This is gonna be very unorganized, ladies and gentlemen, but we move. You know what I mean? We move. This was an impromptu live session anyway. Franchuli checking in. He says, hello, John. What's going on? Ben Dekle says, yo, I'm checking in from Trinidad. Shouts out to you checking in from Trinidad, broski. Damn, we are. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we are all over the world. We are global today. That's awesome. What are your thoughts on My Hero Academia? I feel like it's an anime that you would love. My Hero Academia is one that's been on my list of things to watch, but I just never had the time. Never had the time. I still have Attack on Titan higher on that list if I have the time to watch it. Everybody's talking about for me, everybody's talking about like calling me boomer and stuff because I'm only talking about old school anime. But anyways, let me do this starting 11 with y'all real quick. Okay, starting 11 for Manchester United versus Liverpool. In goal, I'm going with this man right here, Senna Lammens, without a doubt. I know Ruben Amorim talked about, what was the quote that Ruben Amorim said about Senna Lammens today? I was like, Ruben, don't do this. He says something. I was like, don't do this, Ruben. Don't do this. What did he say? Let me see. There we go. Ruben Amorim and Senna Lammens, he's not Schmeichel yet. He's a young guy. He showed a lot of composure, and the fans like him. He needs to show himself. Okay, that's cool. I get that. I agree with you, Ruben. But let's not do this. Let's just start him. I don't know. Broski, like, let's not do this. Just start Senna Lammens. I mean, I personally think Ruben Amorim just said that because he kind of wants to take the pressure away from him, and that obviously strategically is the right thing to do as a manager. But for sure, I'd say Senna Lammens. Back three for me, without a doubt, is simple. I'm gonna go Lenny Yoro on the right. Matthias de Ligt. None of this. Let Harry Maguire play in the middle and Matthias de Ligt on the right. Like, none of this nonsense. I don't want to see none of that. I'm seeing de Ligt here. And I'm seeing de Ligt here and Lenny Yoro on the right. On the left-hand side, I'm going to go with, where is he? Yes, there you are. Lucas Alberto Carlos, Luke Shaw. And then my wingbacks, I believe, what's our injury looking like? I don't think Mazraoui's back yet, right? Right? Who's out right now? What's our injury? Let me see. 눈이 올까요? 그대 Okay, Licha, Aiden Heaven, Mazraoui. Okay, not bad. Okay. So yeah, so I wouldn't go. What? Oh yeah. So I'm gonna go. Where is he? I'm gonna go Dallo on the. Catches list is no lie. We have to be honest. Luke Shaw's been criminal. I don't think he's been that bad. You think he's been that bad, Cat? Really? I'm gonna go. Actually, I'm gonna go Dorgu, and I'm gonna go Ahmad. That's. Don't attack me. All right, don't attack me. If Mazraoui is available, I start Mazraoui on the right. But I think it. But I like this. I like this. What we say in chat? Can y'all see that? DD says the middle might be the toughest to figure out. For sure. For sure. Omar B says Lamens for the win. Facts. He says it's very possible that he would play. Mace Windex says watch Vinland Saga. My Hero Academia is for kids. Yo, man, ain't nothing wrong with that. Sometimes I like. Sometimes I like those simpler animes. You know, that's kind of straightforward. You know, you got the protagonist and the antagonist. You know what I mean? Like, I think probably one of my more favorite animes that I've watched over the recent years, and the few that I've watched is probably Spike's Family. That's a sweet anime. It's a very family kind of anime. I like that. Hold on, let me just fix this because I'm like it's not centered and like bothering me. Boom. Am I that off center here? Bizarre. I'm like staring right down the barrel of the camera here. Do I need to bring this, make it smaller? All right, that's better. That's better. Yeah, okay, I'll leave it like that. All right. We got Jason in the chat. What's going on, Jason? Nick Bradford says, John, should I be One Punch Man for Halloween or Pitbull or Mr. Clean? Thanks to oh, Nick. Oh man, Nick, are you feeling any better? By the way, how's the progress? How's the recovery going? Talk to me on that. But if I had to pick between the three of them, I would go. If I had to pick the three of them, I would go Pitbull because I think Pitbull will be the easiest to kind of put together an outfit for. But if I had the flexibility, I'm going One Punch Man. I'm going One Punch Man. Franchuli says Amma was cooking with his country. I did see that. That's good. DD says Mount should start. Okay, well let's work our way here. Let's keep going here. Ooh. Wall Caller says old school. What, like Sherlock, Hound, Cobra, and Lupin? I would throw Lupin in there. I actually don't know Sherlock Hound. I don't know what that one is. Chow View says, John, you are still playing Shaw in 2025. Hey, look, Chow, we got no other choice. If Lisandro Martinez comes back, this is Lisandro's position for me, without a doubt. But until he comes back, then it's Luke Shaw for me. I'm sorry, because you have to play a left-footed player here, in my view. So let's actually leave the midfield too. I'm gonna go. Cunha just flew to Korea to play, right? And he's gonna need a little bit of time to adjust, just a teeny little bit, right? Let's go up here at least first. Sheshko, right? We're gonna go Sheshko. Okay. And then, Chavview says, what about Aiden Heaven? He's got a knock. Apparently he's doubtful. And Mbumo for sure, right? So I think we have our two midfielders and one of the 10s. Against Liverpool, I'm thinking we go. Now y'all got me doing this. Now y'all got me doing this seriously. Y'all got me doing work, all right? Because I just wanted to have fun with y'all, and now we actually have to sit down and work. Yeah. War. Okay. Anyway, let's see what the Liverpool predicted 11 could potentially look like here. Tell me if I done. How do I see the predicted 11? Where's all the... I thought this used to show the Liverpool predicted line. Oh, you know what we can do is we can ask ChatGPT. Although I don't condone this kind of. What will Liverpool's starting 11 look like against Manchester United? Okay, so this is what ChatGPT is saying. I don't know if you guys can see that. Mamadashvili, Bradley, or Frimpong. I think Konate is out. So already ChatGPT chatting nonsense, right? Kirkez, okay. Salba, Grav, or McAllister. Shit, man, this is a good team. I hate it. But this is a good team. I think they're gonna go Sobo. Yeah, I made my choice. I've made my choice. I'm gonna go Mace left 10, and then I'm gonna go Brune Miguel Borges Fernandes. Yeah, and then I'm gonna go. I don't know. I think this is probably the best we can put up right now, in my view. What do you guys think, chat? Let me know. Joshua Owen says, incoming 6-2 Liverpool win, by the way. No. No. Control Delete says, John probably supported them after Eric Cantona built up United success. Well, yeah. Yeah. Is there a problem? Control Delete, is there a problem? United fans know they got a chance on Sunday because Salah is not playing. Hey, my man, we're just all here for fun. You know what I'm saying? Chow View says, I'm worried about the midfield. Me too, man. Me too. Ray says, I think Amorim starts Dallo over Dorgu, but approve the rest. You know what, Ray? I actually do agree. I think he will probably opt for Dallo. I agree. Okay. If we're doing predicted 11, I think it's Dallo. If we're doing predicted 11, it's Dallo. However, if it's John Shin's immaculate 11, we go Ahmad. Domination HD says maybe a draw. I don't know about a win. No, we're going to win. Trust me. If we lose, y'all can come back to me in the chat, next after the stream, be like, John, we lost. It's your fault. No, don't tell me it's my fault. It's not my fault. Control the Delete says, Vish said you're a real fan. That was my point about you only supporting United during their height. Control Delete, let me ask you a question. What makes a real fan? I need you to answer me that. Yeah? What makes a real fan? Tell me. And you better have a good reason. You better have a great answer. And don't use ChatGPT. I sniff out AI BS like a truffle pig. Fernando Rana says, how do you feel about football superstars like Lamine Yamal selling their autograph rights to companies over fans? Oh, I heard about that. I actually didn't really get to look into it too much, but what happened with that? Did he actually... Did he really sell... What? Really? I feel like I did read something like that, but if that is true, then it's inevitable, really. Sad or not is beyond the point. These players are going to continue to think of themselves more and more as a brand, and, it's inevitable. It is inevitable. Easy in the chat says, John, come to South Africa. We will treat you right. Yo, Easy. I wanna visit South Africa so badly. It's on top of my list of places I want to visit. I want to visit South Africa. I know if y'all been following me for a while, y'all know how much I talked about wanting to visit Nigeria. I want to visit Nigeria. If I have extra time, I would also love to visit places like Ghana, even Egypt. I also want to visit Morocco. But again, need the time and the money. Let's see. DD says go to Mauritius, bro. I heard Mauritius is beautiful. TT Edits says Germany and France. Well, I've been to France. I'm probably going to visit Germany sometime next year. But yeah. Anyways, so this is the 11 I think is going to... This is the 11 that I want. This is the 11 that I want. Ray, member for 12 months. W. Shouts out Ray. 12 months supporting me and my endeavors. He says, where does Tanjiro Kamado play in Amarim system? How about Monkey D. Luffy? Whoa. That's a great question. It's a great question. Where would Tanjiro play? Tanjiro definitely doesn't. He cannot play up top. All right, let's just get that out of the way. Right, Tanjiro is not an up top kind of player. He's like one of the tens. Yeah, he's not a defender. He's not a wing. He's not a wing back either. He's midfield 10. Midfield. No, he's not. He's one of the tens. He's one of the tens for sure. Like if I had to pick, right? Not Infinity Castle. We're not doing Infinity Castle. I would go... Great question. Now you got me thinking. I'm thinking more about this than the actual just footy. Let me see the list so that I just have the names off. I don't want to be sitting here just going I would go Rengoku up top. And you get Tanjiro on the left. I would even go Giyu on the right. That would be sick. Yeah. But this one's not going to be a full-on anime talk because I know you guys probably don't want to hear me chatting about anime the whole time. But I actually did, funny enough, I actually did make a video with a full anime 11. But I haven't had a chance to edit it because I wanted to really do a proper job. But I might do it again. Who knows? We'll see. King Zaria says, "Hope United win so Arsenal can stay top of the league." I guess we're at that position. Let's see. Let's I'm gonna pull up the tape. Oh, I did it again. There we go. We're only 5 points behind. If we beat Liverpool here, we're catching up, man. That's a huge result if we can beat Liverpool here. That's such a big result. That would be so good for us if we can beat Liverpool, without a shadow of a doubt. Catch Us Live says Tanjiro is a midfielder. Oh yeah, he would be more of like a Mason Mount kind of attacking 10. I don't see him as like a combative 10. You know what I mean? Let's see. Control Delete says people have passion because of the knowledge they hold. If you have passion for the sake of passion, that makes as much sense as water in a car engine. Control Delete. You know, normally I would probably ignore some of the comments, but you have my attention because I have a bit of time tonight. So let me break that down. People have passion because of the knowledge they hold. That first part, yeah, I mean, that's not the be all and end all for a reason why somebody has passion, but I do agree that is one of the reasons why somebody could have passion, right? Let's say I want to be passionate about anime, or let's say I want to be passionate about Demon Slayer, like we were talking about. I need to know Demon Slayer. I need to have watched it to understand a little bit of it, right? If you have passion for the sake of passion, that's the part I don't really agree with. If you have Passion for the sake of passion. How can you have passion for something for the sake of being passionate? That, to me, that doesn't sound right. To me, that just sounds fancy. That just sound like you, with the greatest respect, that sounds to me like you just trying to sound fancy. Passion for the sake of passion. How can you have passion for the sake of passion? Passion in itself cannot be faked, in my view. And I'm only talking about genuine passion. I'm not talking about like trolling passion where like you're like, trolling to be on camera. You know what I mean? If you genuinely are passionate about something, then you cannot fake that because that is genuine passion. That passion in itself is a very strong word. Just like love, just like hate. If you have passion for something, that has to be serious, in my view. Knowledge of the team you support is crucial. This is a real fan. Oh, well, that part is, I guess, a little bit more subjective. And sure, if you believe that, I'm not going to take that away from you. I think if you call yourself a fan, then yeah, you should kind of have some sort of knowledge. But just because I didn't know where Manchester United finished in the 74-75 season doesn't make me any less of a fan than somebody that does, is my view. I think a lot of old, again, I'm not trying to sound like an old fart, but back then, Hardbread says, "Are you going to sing for us?" Hardbread, you want me to sing for you? You can leave me a song recommendation. I might sing for you. But just going back to this, when I first started doing YouTube content, I can't even tell you how many people used to attack me with all different kinds of, "You're not a real Man United fan. You're not from Manchester. You're from America. You're a Yank. You're this, you're that." Like, yeah, cool, sure, right? But I can't even tell you how many people also said I don't have football knowledge at the time when it came to Manchester United, right? That's cool. Sure, I didn't know as much as Jay Motti. I didn't know as much as Steven Housen. But I loved Manchester United. That's my love for the club. And that love made me want to learn more about the club, made me read books, made me research articles, spend hours looking into the club's history because it's what I wanted to do. And that's what fueled it. The love fueled my passion. But I will not sit here and say that just because you don't have the same kind of passion as me makes you not a real fan. Just because you might be living in Connecticut, but you watch Manchester United and you say you love Man United, then you love Man United. I'm not going to take that away from you, right? That sounds crazy. Control Alt Delete says, imagine a car is on fire and a man is trapped in that car. Do most people save that person for the sake of being good, or are they doing it for the sake of something they cannot see, which is God? Oh. We're doing a philosophy thing today? That's that. See, now you lost me. Now you lost me. Because I'm just trying to have fun. Yeah. And then now you're going too deep. You're digging a little too deep, my friend. Okay. If you want to do that, you're going to have to drop like a $500 super chat. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. Don't do that. I mean, yo, if a car's on fire and if there's an opportunity for me to help that person get out of the car, I'm helping that person. I don't give a damn if I can't see or God or whatever. I'm trying to help them. Yeah. Let's see. That's all I'm gonna say on that matter. I don't know what else to say in that respect. Let's see. Guvu says, honestly believe, as Ratcliffe says, give Amorim some time. We should be patient and we'll win. Love that. Absolutely love that. Absolutely love that. I would. Did you? Oh, speaking of which, oh my god, did you guys see that? Did you guys see that video? If you guys haven't had a chance to see this, I highly recommend you check this out. Ruben Amorim came out with that. Not Ruben Amorim came out. There was a clip that came out. I have no idea if this was like part of a documentary or something, but it basically came out and it's Ruben Amorim's farewell speech in the last game that he had with Sporting. I'm gonna see if I can pull this up for you. I don't know if I can play it that much, but let me see if I can. Hold on.
Normal. Não estamos aqui todos, ok? Não estamos aqui. Não estamos aqui todos. E o que eu vos vou dizer, mano, que eu não gosto de despedidas, mas vocês, se nós formos humildes, nós ganhamos o campeonato. Não há volta a dar. Epá, a diferença é muito grande. Muito grande. E o que vocês fizeram na segunda parte. Mas agora, malta, vai ser difícil, vai ser difícil para toda a gente. Vocês têm que ajudar o Quarei. Vocês têm que ajudar o Pote. O Ger tem que ajudar o Marcos. Pá. O Ivan nunca joga. Os Gaio. Pá. Vai ser difícil. Vai ser difícil. Há ligações que nós temos. Nós vamos ganhar estas. Vocês são, pá, inacreditáveis. Inacreditáveis.
So basically, just to kind of give you a little bit of a background so that you don't have to sit here and watch the whole thing if you're not interested. But this is Ruben Amorim's farewell speech in the last game for Sporting. And he basically just kind of feeling very emotional. Oh, there's a song. I couldn't even hear it. Thank you for letting me know, DB Cooper. But there's basically DB Cooper. Basically, Ruben Amorim is telling these players that, look, it's going to be a difficult season. It's going to be tough, but you guys have everything in your locker to get the result. But what I love about this, as he, like, you know, you can clearly tell he's emotional, you know. He's emotional in a good way. Yeah. Look at that. You can clearly tell he's obviously emotional in a good way. And and in many ways, let's be real. The job that he has right now at Man United, in many ways, these players helped him get that job, that huge sort of promotion, for lack of a better phrase. It's awesome to see the connection that he has with his players, because if you see so all the clips that were surfacing, the players had so many kind things to say about Ruben Amorim, like deep kindness, you know? And he name dropped a lot of the players. He name dropped Quarai. I think that's Quaresma. He name dropped Bota. He name dropped a bunch of players. And according to I couldn't fact check this myself, but according to some of the comments, apparently those are the players that were sort of the sort of inconsistent / fringe players, right? And Ruben Amorim was telling the entire squad to help these players. And they went on to win the league. That's awesome. That is absolutely awesome to see. That is absolutely awesome to see. You know what I mean? That is absolutely awesome to see. He clearly is appreciated and loved by a lot of the players that he's worked with. And I can see that, you know. I've had the honor and pleasure of meeting Ruben Amorim, albeit very briefly, but he seems to be a loving, he seems to be somebody that absolutely demands a lot from his players, and he demands a lot of that seriousness, but also he has time for people, is what I can see. And I want to back him, and I will back him. It's just that the world doesn't work that way. The world doesn't work the way I want to, and you can't fault it. If we don't get results, then no matter how much people want to back him, it's going to be tough, you know? And I hope and pray that things will turn around sooner rather than later. For sure. Token pen in the chat. He says, "Hey John, respect, love your content and positivity during the club's difficulty. True United fan, keep going. Thank you for the kind words. Appreciate you for that." Token says, "What's the deal breaker if he has another inconsistent season?" Let's end on this. I'll just say this and then I'll call it a night. I think it's going to be another difficult season. Not difficult as much as bad as last season, but it's going to be still tough for the first half. I would love to see United sign a midfielder. And if we can sign a midfielder in January, then I can see us really, really recovering. And I can really see us, finding ourselves in much better positions next season for sure. But it's still going to be a season of transition. Not as bad as last one, but it's still going to be a season of transition for sure. I still think that this squad needs a fresh reset. We still need to let go of all the players that are obviously not worth the money that we're spending, with the greatest respect to Casemiro. You know how much I love Casemiro. You know what I mean? DFXVZ says, 안녕하세요. 메뉴팬이네요. 네, 안녕하세요. 메뉴팬입니다. Forever Tej says, stop crying. Stop hyping everything you see for likes and comments. Stop expecting everything at all. Let the players and the manager be free. They are already getting a lot of pressure from the media. I don't know if do you watch my stuff? Just curious. I don't know if you watch my stuff. Just curious. Mace Windick says, but Casemiro is your favorite center midfielder of time all? No, he's not my favorite center mid of time all. Paul Scholes is my favorite center mid of time all. But Casemiro is one of my favorites, yeah. But let's be real. I'm putting emotions aside, you know what I'm saying? I'm putting the biases aside. If we're going to spend $300,000 a week on a player, he needs to be playing week in, week out, and he has to be one of the top players. And yeah, Casemiro is a top player, but he's not the same Casemiro of many years ago. He's not even the same Casemiro of 2 years ago, 3 years ago, you know? Forever Tej says, I'm referring to people who are impatient. Oh, I hear that. And Nguvu says, glory, glory, Man United. We are still the biggest in England and Europe. We're the biggest in the world. We're the biggest in the universe. Katie Marie, I forgot. Sorry, I completely forgot to read your 14 years members. Damn. Thank you for your support, Katie. Appreciate you. She says, Times Square stories? Sorry to have missed you, but we had to head to dinner. We had a very much needed amazing weekend in New York, though. That's very awesome. That's awesome. Stories about Times Square. I will tell you the story in just a second. I will tell you some stories. But it's glad to hear that you had a good time in New York. Nick Bradford says, Schneider is my favorite midfielder of all time. Transfer that never was. I can't even tell Nick. I can't even tell you how badly I wanted Wesley Sneijder to join Man United. I could not tell you how badly I wanted Sneijder. I wanted Sneijder badly. The players that I really wanted, like we're talking about them times back then. When we were linked with Fabregas, I wanted Fabregas. When we were linked with Thiago Alcantara, I wanted him so badly. When we were linked with Tony Cruz, I wanted Tony Cruz badly. Wesley Sneijder, Oddly enough, as bizarre as this sounds, the player that I was like, if we can get him on good money, cool, yeah. But like, I wasn't too asked about was Ronaldo, because I think we were linked with Ronaldo returning to Man United every flipping season. Every transfer window, there was some journalist saying Ronaldo's returning to Man United, all this stuff. That was the only one that I was like, if it happens, cool. If not, whatever. But the other ones I really wanted. I really wanted them to join United. You know what I mean? But yeah, Katie. Nick says Katie's been keeping the lights on around here. Facts. Katie's an absolute legend. Stories about Times Square. So maybe I could pull up the video. We'll show. So there was a camera crew, but they were filming like it was more like sort of like still shots rather than the full video. And I didn't, and Jimmy wasn't there, so nobody was filming me. But anyways, let's see if I can pull up that video. Shouts out to Nico and Drip FC. Let's see.
Dortmund and Street Soccer USA hosted a 4v4 pop-up event right in the middle of Times Square. If y'all know Times Square, this wouldn't surprise you. I've seen some crazy things, let me tell you. What brought the crowd early on were these kids, man. Low-key NYC got some techie ballers, I'm not gonna lie. But the weather though was an absolute stinker. The conditions made these games intense. Players were slipping and tripping like they were at a water park. But just like closing the chapter, sun
Nico,
came out and somehow we all revived. Dule couldn't believe it and I couldn't either. Dortmund legend and World Cup winner Roman Weidenfeller came out. Bradley Wright Phillips got taught what having drip was like. The VIP tent had snacks, drinks, food, and courtside seats to all the action. Man, the hospitality had me feeling nice. So nice, I said, let me get out on the pitch. I had to pull up in style because, bro, players were killing it. I mean, check out the boot watch. It was mad. So I did what I had to do. First touch of the game, calm little rainbow. Coach wasn't rocking with that, and my time on the pitch ended real quick. But no beef, I was cool with it because on the other side, Dortmund was playing, and there was no way I was going to miss that. Weidenfeller was playing the field. Passing game was being displayed. Roman was doing his thing. But someone got to be in goal. Content creator Good Vibes John took one for the team, making saves I don't even think Roman would be willing to do. But it says it in his name. Bro's on vibes. You don't mind it. That's when Kid Super pulled up and had the crowd on its toes. Just like his clothing brand, the NYC legend stepped on in true game-changing fashion. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough and the black and yellow took an L. We ended up back at the tent for that hospitality, you feel me? All I gotta say is nothing beats Friday night games under the lights until you've experienced street soccer in Times Square. Huge shout out to everyone involved. Thanks for having us out. And that's a day at Times Square Cup with Drip FC.
Yeah, yo, shouts out to Nico, shouts out to Drip FC. And shouts out to Cole, shouts out to Roman Weidenfeller, and shouts out to everybody from Borussia Dortmund. But that event was sick, man. That event was sick. I was only there for a very brief moment because I obviously, with my slipped disc, I wasn't trying to play that late. You know what I mean? And I wasn't trying to play that much. But yeah, they took some really cool photos for me. And yeah, I literally was there because I was just trying to mess around, you know what I mean? But then it got a little serious. But yeah, it was cool. It was cool. I got invited to play as part of Roman Weidenfeller's team. So Roman Weidenfeller's team, Roman and friends, were representing BVB. And they just had a bunch of us content creators and sort of former pros. And shouts out to Michael Lahoud. He was also there as well. Shouts out to Jeff. Will was there. Shouts out to Sarah, Byron. A bunch of people was there. And met a lot of new friends as well. But it was awesome. I mean, let's be real. Building a football pitch in the middle of Times Square is kind of crazy if you think about it. But it completely redefined playing under the lights because, like Nico was saying in that video, this was a different kind of lights. And it was awesome. It was just, there was like a crowd for absolutely no reason except the fact that we were BVB, repping BVB. And so the rules were kind of different. It was a 4-on-4. It wasn't a 5-a-side. Mana Varma, thank you for checking in from Dallas. Shouts out to you checking in from the Lone Star State. Appreciate you. I still have to visit Texas. Damn. I need to go visit Texas. I need to try some Texas barbecue. But anyways, getting back on topic here. Yeah, so it was a 4v4. And the rules were very weird. It was like when you are in possession, you can only have 2 defenders in your half, and you have to have an attacker, 1 player, in the opposition box. So you could technically only defend with 2, but you could attack with 3. And there was a big ring around the net, the goal, that you couldn't step in if you were the opposition. But then the goal was wide. It was like wide like the 5-a-side nets out there in England. It was wide. It was low but wide. And we started, and immediately we conceded a penalty because we broke we didn't know the rules. So the ref was like, "Oh, nope, you can't have 3, penalty." Then I blocked 2 of them. It was hilarious. It was so funny. And the highlight of the night was Roman Weidenfeller was like giving me the approval. It was so funny. Roman Weidenfeller was like, "Yo, you're pretty good, man." Oh, that was funny. Getting approval from Roman Weidenfeller as a goalkeeper was definitely not in my bingo cards. That was funny. That was the funny part about that night. I'm not going to lie to y'all. But it was fun. It was a lot of fun. I only played 2 games before I was like, "Yep, I'm done." But it was a lot of fun. But yeah, Roman Weidenfeller said what's up, and he gave me some love, and he was like, "Yo, you know, keep doing your thing." That's pretty much the only story, really. Because I didn't stay there for... Excuse me. I didn't stay there for that long. Nguvu says, "I wish United would make their African outreach bigger. The fan base is bigger here. The biggest fan base of the more than 1 billion people in Africa is United fans. I can't even tell you how much I have how much love that I get from the United fans out there in Africa. From Ghana, from Zambia, from Nigeria, from Ethiopia, from South Africa. So many United fans show me love from Africa. And you're right. You know, if I had an influence, if I had any power within the Manchester United's, I guess, marketing or whatever the decision-making departments that be, I would definitely love to visit Africa a lot more, right? That'd be so awesome. Korea, Japan. I know they're going to be out there in Malaysia, I think, in a few weeks. I can't remember. And I think Nani's going to be there, but we got to visit. Yo, you know what? You know what United should do? They should send me out there. Send me around the world. Send me to Korea. Send me to Africa. Send me to Antarctica. Don't send me there. Don't send me to Antarctica. Nope. Pass on that one. Too cold. Too cold. Ward Kano says, "Yo, good vibes. It's Mike here from Kenya." Shouts out to my man checking in from Kenya. You see? Oh, you guys didn't need to see this picture. This was me falling down. I was like, "Oh, damn it. I got rocked." Katie Marie says, "One of my friends is at the F1 in Austin this weekend. So jealous." Ooh. They hold F1 races in Austin. That's cool. I didn't know. Stromboni says, "Would you sacrifice yourself if you were..." Huh? Would you sacrifice yourself if you knew your kid would turn into Batman? Why the hell would I sacrifice myself because my kid wants to say, "I'm Batman"? I don't give a damn if he wants to be Batman or Superman. I'm not risking my life for that. Just live a normal life, man. Why the hell you want to be Batman? Batman hella stressed, dog. Batman got hella trauma and hella pain that he has to deal with. Why the hell would I want my kid to be Batman? I love Batman, but I don't want my kid to be Batman. I don't even have a kid. Why would I want to sacrifice myself? I still want to live a long life. I got to meet Pak Ji-sung. Are you crazy right now? Crazy. James Michael says, "Love your videos. Thank you for the kind words, James. Appreciate you." He says, "John, do you think we could beat Liverpool?" James, absolutely we can. Absolutely we can. Dun, 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 dun. Tahi Mool says, "Man United 1, Liverpool 3. Nope. Nope. Pedo 316 says, "Batman don't want to be Batman." Facts. Even Bruce Wayne don't want to be Batman. You know what I'm saying? Pito, you spot on there. Even Bruce Wayne don't want to be Batman. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so thank you for the question, Stromboni, but no, I would not want to do that. No. Nick Bradford says, when I was a child, we had a sound activated light switch in the bathroom at our house, and we would tell guests that you had to say the words, I'm Batman, to activate the light. Oh, that's funny. Oh, that's funny. That's hilarious. That's actually hilarious. Yeah, I think this is probably, we've been going for about an hour and a half. I think this is a good place to end it. I don't know why my nose feels so stuffy, but I think this is a good place for us to wrap up the show. But yeah. Katie Marie says, oh, wait. Whoa. This is the perfect place to end it. Hold on. This is the perfect place to end it. Ready? Hello? Hey, you're on stream.
What?
You're on stream. Answer this question, okay? When we were younger, right?
Yeah.
When we were younger, my legs. No, don't
What?
sing. Don't sing. When we were young,
Yes.
my legs used to hurt a lot, and mom and grandma always used to be like, "That's because you're getting taller." Did you ever
What?
feel that?
Did I ever feel myself getting taller?
Yeah, because your legs were hurting.
I'm like 5'4". What yeah, I didn't feel it at all. What are you talking about?
Guys at the chat, I thought my brother was gonna agree with me, but I guess yeah. But you never had those pains where like mom was like, hey, like you're getting leg pain because you're getting taller. You've never felt that?
I stopped growing at like 4 years old. She probably felt bad for me. What are you gonna do? What is this called? This is called to roast me? What the hell? Bye.
Bye. Oh my god. I didn't mean to drag my brother. He dragged himself. What the hell? Oh, that's a good place to end it. Well, yeah, that was my brother. Shouts out to my brother. And yeah, we're gonna wrap it up here. That's it for me for today, guys. I hope you guys had a good fun time. I believe the next time we will be checking in is on Sunday for the United versus Liverpool match. Yeah, I like I said, the live stream, I won't be able to be going crazy and screaming and all that stuff, but it'll still be fun. And thankfully, it's earlier on in the day. So, but yeah, can't wait to see United beat Liverpool. Come on. DB Cooper says it's called growing pains for a reason, John. We were messing with you. That's what I'm saying. Growing pain. That's what I'm talking about. Damn it. Anyways, that's it for me, guys. I hope you guys have fun. Please enjoy the rest of your weekend. Please enjoy your Saturday. Be happy, be healthy, take care of all your loved ones, and we'll see y'all right here on Sunday to see Ruben Amorim, Ruben Amorim beat Liverpool. United.